Now, what you are witnessing right here, this big blue miniature kiddie pool, is the economy. And this household faucet represents the production of the people. Now, flowing out of the production is goods and services into the big pool of the economy. Okay? Now, this is the shallow end, and this is the big deep end. Okay? And now what the government is doing with the new stimulus package is they're taking water from the deep end, and right here, all the government expenditures, and they're pouring it into the shallow end. It's going into the same place. Now what the government is doing to help these government expenditures is they're just taxing people like this. And then what they do is go back, take more money, lose some, pour it in, and then soon, no more money. No more money! Does that make sense to you?
So what do you think of the stimulus package, Miss Hansen?
Well, I was appalled that there were no strings attached to the previous bailout expenditures. Again, greed meant that the banks kept most of it.
Really?
That's what I think.
Well, I think it's doing two things, and one I like and one I don't. It's trying to increase the amount of regulation they have on these policy-making and policy-creating institutions like big banks. I believe in that, I support it, and I think it'll work. The other thing about providing a stimulus, thinking that the government can create jobs by spending money, to me seems that it hasn't worked in history, and I have no reason to believe that it would work.
Well, I guess they have to. I don't like them, but they have to do them. They have to do something. So I guess, you know, they're going to do whatever they can. And I still think, though, you know, personally, that it was all our fault and it was going to happen, and we're going to have to deal with it.
Actual GDP was $4 trillion, right? Okay, you take W's stimulus package, right, which was about $500 billion. Okay, and then you take Obama's $700 billion, okay, package. What is that going to do to a $14 trillion economy? It's like 1%, you know. So.
And I hope the response that President Obama has come up with is going to work.
I would agree with the stimulus package. I think it's needed just because of things that have happened in the past from the Great Depression. I think the government has learned, but on the other hand, one of the examples was $280 billion went to Bank of America, and then they were asked what happened to that $280 billion, and they couldn't, they didn't have any track of it. So as far as money being pumped into the system, we need to know what it's being spent on, and I don't think the government knows what it's being spent on in the private sector.
It's like the old communist model that.
I'm not 100% sure that I agree with it all, but I think it'll be, I hope it's helpful.
So, you know, dude, the teachers have given us a lot of information.
Yeah, they have. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, but how do we know if they're, the sources are reliable or anything? Or even if they're using any sources, you know, they could be just making it up.
Yeah, I guess. They're teachers. They do stuff like that. So maybe we should ask them.
It's a good idea.
Teachers, where are you getting this?
So, where do you get most of your information, Miss Hansen?
Well, I read the newspapers and the business sections, and I also watch television.
The news.
Just watch the news, that kind of stuff.
So I listen to the news, read newspaper articles.
So different news sources.
Okay.
Man, this is getting old. All they're saying is the news, man.
Yeah, teachers, could you please be a little more specific?
Sure.
Thank you.
Please, and thank you are the magic words.
What newspapers and television specifically?
Oh, okay, well, I read the Washington Post, and I watch channels like CNN, ABC, BBC, and other channels.
Okay. Well-
Is that all you want?
The Washington Post, my trusted news.
I got my information from Scott Norman from CNN.
Scott Norman and CNN.
Washington Post, Potomac News, and 479, the basic ABC, NBC, CBS channels.
Okay.
Occasionally MSNBC because he seems to watch that a lot.
Let's see. Well, the Washington Post. I usually flip through that every day looking for my comparative government news. And I occasionally will watch like CNN, BBC.
We watch the regular Channel 7 every morning. We also watch CNN, and on Sunday mornings we watch the Politico talk shows as well.
Specifically, my number one source of news is the Washington Post, and I'll watch the ABC Nightly News most days. Most nights, I should say.
You have the Economist magazine, you have the Washington Post, you have a lot of the TV anchors. It's all they're talking about nowadays.